Welcome back to CCL Game Day, and we've got some new faces on the desk. As you may have noticed last week when we were at LAN, we've got Samuel, a.k.a. The Fool, a.k.a. Samuel Kaczynski, a.k.a. Kai Slew. Vaughn, can you do it? You did it before.
Yeah. Samuel the Fool, Zora Zajczynski, The World, Slew, Omega Strikers, Gateway T, hold on, Polar Cortex.
Polar Cortex.
CCL. There we go.
Thank you. Yes, thank you so much, Vaughn. Yeah, we've got him here. And then we've got Weston as well. And then, of course, Vaughn, 3Z, and myself make it up.
Just Weston.
Never had another name in my life.
True.
Absolutely. But fellas, how are we doing? How was your flights back to LAN? Was the airport awful? Yes, it was.
Perfect for me.
Perfect for you. Well, I almost missed my flight to Lubbock. So I was going from Denver to Dallas, and they had us on the tarmac for 1 hour. And then we get there, and so they let us deplane first, and we're running across the terminal of Dallas Love Field. But the pilot was outside the gate saying, "We're not going to leave you behind. Come on, you guys are good. Catch your breath." So thank you to the pilot. Shout out the pilot. I heard a lot of people got like hugely delayed.
At least you weren't Brickbat. At least
I wasn't Brickbat. We love you, Brickbat.
It was a long, stressful way of getting home for me.
I think that all the service workers I interacted with were on some W lore, because not a pilot, but do you guys know the like sushi place like to the right of the venue if you walk down?
Yes.
It was anyway.
Yeah.
When Box, Drop, and I were eating food after Winners Finals, the owner saw us watching a game on his like tablet or whatever. Boxes, and he was like, "Oh dude, what's going on over there? It sounds super cool." He was probably like in his young 40s, and then we were talking to him and he was like, "Oh, is it like League of Legends?" I was like, "Oh, this guy knows ball." And he just like sat there for like 10 minutes and he was like, "This is awesome, this is super cool." And we were talking, and then when he brought out the bill, he was like, "Guys, you got to crush it out there. Like, do you want free dessert? Like, ice cream's on me." And I was like, yeah, I do. So we just went in the back and he got us ice cream. And he was like, "You guys better win now." So shout out to the owner of that place.
Was the secret? That's what I was missing?
That's what you were missing.
The sushi.
And it was dope because like there were a bunch of other like LAN goers there, but I don't know why he was just like so. I think it's because we were watching the game, because he was like, "Oh, this is sick." So he was like really invested. I wish I could have told him we won. Maybe I will. I'll leave a Google review and be like, "Hey, this place was awesome. If you see this, we were the guys that the play." I don't know.
Definitely leave that Google review. The businesses love that. They love that.
True.
They love that. Weston, you were saying that you had like such a treacherous way of getting home after the LAN. I feel you, buddy.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a 15-minute drive.
It was a really hard drive. Yeah, right.
15 minutes. 3Z, anything new with you?
I'm chilling like a villain, Surplus. I don't know.
Beautiful.
He just finished Dawn to Dawn. That's
really nice. No spoilers. I haven't finished season 1 yet.
There's no major competitions coming up for OS, so I guess I'm locked in on CCL for
so locked.
We're locked.
We're
dialed.
Just
laser focused.
Nothing else going on in my life.
We're just dialed in.
Nothing to smile about in my life. I'll be graduating school soon, hopefully. So that's a good
congratulations
thing. Finishing up, but yeah, no, I'm chilling.
Awesome, and yeah, I mean, I'm having a little change of scenery today, and next week. I'm here for the next 2 weeks for the Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta. If you've been watching CCL since season 1, you already know. During the fall, I'm out here. And I'm I'm in front of the Texas Tech Christmas tree, so that's very cool. It's been up for 4 years. We haven't taken it down. It's insane. My parents are mad chilling on this downstairs area. It's nuts. But I've got a pool table. I've got a foosball table. Y'all should come over. We should have some fun. You know?
Yeah.
Chilling like Weston could come down. It's only like 8 hours.
Simple 12-hour drive for me.
Simple 12-hour drive.
I'll head over.
You know, think about it. But
I've done it once. I can do it again.
You have done it once. And then add an extra 6 hours to get to Albuquerque.
Oh, it never.
It's so over. It's so cooked. You can stop by my house. I'll let you in with my garage.
Oh,
I'll give you a key. I trust you,
can't
Samuel.
wait.
I trust you.
Yeah.
So let's move on to our main topic of discussion today. We're starting to see some parity here in the CCL going into week 3. We've got 3 sections of teams. We've got the 2-0s, we've got the 0-2s, and the 1-1s. Of course, there's going to be more 1-1 teams than there are 0-2 and 2-0 teams, but we're going to look at these 1-1 teams and shout out our standouts here. Who's going to be able to make it up to that 2-1, maybe even 3-1 section there, and who's going to just continue to be kind of meh? You know, it's okay. The CCL needs teams that are going to be meh. You guys make the league. You guys are awesome. So let's start up here with Samuel. What are your takes here, buddy? Who
I got
is your
2.
favorite 1-1? Go for
Oh,
it.
okay. Well, that's.
Well, you can have
took
2.
me
You can have 2.
I got 2.
You
I
can
got
have 2.
Well, of course, I gotta vouch for the SLU Academy, my protege, my learners down there in SLU Academy. Constantly in the mines. They have practice right now while I'm skipping on their practice because I'm here in casting. But yeah, I have pretty high hopes for them. They're fairly intelligent. They're learning quick. Especially like this Nova guy. Nova is like one of the people I picked up in the spring last season, and he's a brawler and he's been learning a lot very quickly. Very proud of him. But the other team I want to talk about that is less biased is my good friend Potat at Maryville. W Maryville picking up 2 random people and not going 0-2 at the moment in time. Let's go. Impressive stuff.
Huge.
Big fan of Potat. Hope he goes far this season. I hope he adapts the skills of like teaching people, because teaching the game's hard. I'm not even good at that, and I've been doing it for longer than he has. So yeah, hope he goes far. That's about it though.
Thank you, Samuel. Vaughn, who is your 1 or 2 shout-outs in the 1-1 category?
All right. First off, 1-1. They're not the exact same roster that they've always had, but esports at OSU, I have to always support because Peanut Enjoyer is the GOAT. I always love seeing someone that's good at Kai, and that's his character. I mean, he's got an Estelle as well, but as the years march on, one midfielder remains that I truly love to watch from the beginning, and that is Peanut Enjoyer. So I'd like to shout him out as one of the 1-1 squads. And another squad I'd like to shout out that is 1-1 is... Actually, there's 3 more people after me, and there's only so many 1-1 squads. So I'll just leave it there,
Leave it there.
for esports
Thank you.
at OSU in my support of both Peanut Enjoyer, but also the whole squad. I remember watching them compete at Cali, which was really cool. So I'm looking forward to them this season.
Beautiful. Weston, what are you thinking here? What are you thinking?
Yeah, I'm gonna give a shout out to a team that's been around for forever, and they kind of like their roster changes a little bit, but they're always doing solid. But Tulsa, I think Torn has been tearing it up, doing really well. He was at LAN, I know. Doggitos as well. I think their third has changes sometimes, but I think it's been Echo. But I believe they were one of the last teams in playoffs last season, and I just know they're all really into the game right now. They were playing in OSAS and ISS and stuff, so Tulsa Hurricanes, hope to see them making playoffs again.
Beautiful. Go Golden Hurricanes. 3Z.
Well, we don't have our dear friend Borg here to say it, so I will. Go GMU. Always been a GMU fan. I don't know what their roster or roles look like nowadays. I don't know if we still have Spartan playing Brawler or what's going on, but either way, GMU have a lot of experience, so I'd like to see them make the 2-1. I'm gonna double dip as well. Shout out TAMU Maroon, Reappers 3-3, super good player. Been CCL for a minute, so shout out to TAMU Maroon.
Beautiful.
GMU
Beautiful.
and OSU face each other as well. So.
Yes, that's going to be a fun
Should
one.
be a good
Yeah.
This will be a very fun one. Very fun one. I was going to shout out Texas A&M Maroon, but because I am in a room full of Texas Tech memorabilia, I think I would unlock some sort of Texan godly curse on myself. And that would not be good for my health. So I'm going to have to shout out, of course, YU Esports. They are only 1-1 because they missed one of their matches the first week So good job to them, and they beat my Red Raiders last week. But I think they're going to do very good. I think they can make it into playoffs. There is a way to make it in. I think that they have a very nice route in there, and I believe they have the same few players from the last few seasons: Andy, Shadow Crypt, and Quakem. So they're going to do what they do best. Shout out YU, shout out York University, shout out Canada. Beautiful. Good job, everybody.
Canada.
Shout out Canada, indeed. A few things here, though. Before we were recording here, Vaughn, you're looking like you're a fan of New University this year.
That's true. Wait, are they a new university?
They are new.
Auburn?
No, not Auburn.
No,
Really?
Not Auburn.
No.
Not Auburn.
Oh,
Not Auburn.
The other one.
The other one.
Dylan! Surplus! I know exactly what you mean. I'd like to shout out my new team, Widener University. Go Lions!
Go Lions!
Go Lions! Go Lions! Shout out to Chester and Melrose, the Lions of Widener University. I got my eye on you. Keek, Nibbleton, and Angel Kate. If you guys ever want some advice on the hit game Omega Strikers, hit my line. My Discord is Firelight V. You can ping me in the CCL Discord to find me and reach out to me and message me. Say that you're from Widener University. Let's talk. We're going to turn you into the next CCL powerhouse. Maybe not this season. Okay, but everyone
Maybe next season.
climbs the mountain from base camp. All right, so let's begin the journey, fellas, and or whoever. Sorry, I just realized I'm in the
And
fellas
whoever.
mindset because I was just hanging out with the boys in the B&B, and I would just say fellas, but you can be whatever you want to be. The point is, if you're a line at Widener University,
fellas is not gender specific. It could be. It's
yeah,
gender
so it's like
neutral.
guys. Well, guys
Yeah.
is like guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I feel like guys has to be the most gender neutral term ever. Like,
Yeah.
Is this
And
this
dude.
real? All right,
and
guys.
dude. And dude.
Dude, yeah, I call all my students dude. It doesn't matter who they
Yeah.
are. I'll be like, dude, what are you doing? And they'll be like, oh, my bad. Probably not my work. if
Oops,
you're
sorry,
saying
I'm
it.
playing Block Blast. I bet you can't.
Yeah, no,
get
I
up to,
no, I
200K.
ratioed. No one plays Block Blast anymore because they all were pissing me off. So last year I took one of their phones and I dropped like 200K in like 10 minutes, and then they all shut up. Also, all their phones are banned from our entire district, so
Interesting.
there's no more phones.
No more
Us
phones.
too.
Anyway, Widener University, W Lines.
Which are we doing a Lion Watch now? Are we doing a Lion Watch?
Oh, we're
Roar!
live.
Lion Watch,
That's
baby.
a safari this season, fellas.
They're going up against University of Alabama Huntsville, another new university this season.
They're going down.
Who's winning? Who's winning that one, fellas?
The Lions. Angel Kate is about to drop a masterclass on Dubu.
There you go. There you go. You heard it here first from Vaughn. Fellas, do you agree? Do you agree? Do you think Alabama Huntsville has some gas in the tank there?
If no one's gonna believe in the Chargers, the Alabama Huntsville Chargers, then I will. Go Chargers.
Go Chargers. Go Chargers. Samuel, are you a Lion or are you a Charger, buddy?
I hear the Lions eat the Bears, so you got to go for the Lions. Clearly.
Where does Bears come into this? Where
What
do
do you
Bears
mean, where
come
the
in?
Bears come into this?
Where do Bears come into this? They're the Chargers, not the Bears.
The Bears came into this as soon as the Lions came into this. It's part of the ecosystem, pal. Get on the same page as me. What
Okay,
you're
and
talking
now we got
about.
to start talking about Tigers now too. And Tiger Slasher is doing a really good
Oh
job.
my.
So what do you
my.
mean? What is this analysis here? What is this analysis here? 3Z, what are your thoughts?
In true Borg fashion, there's just complete chaos on the desk. Love that. Well, who would I to deny a Lions sweep on the desk here? I mean, let's just be real with ourselves. Feeling the spirit of the Lion today.
Feeling the spirit of the
Roar.
Lion. I'm gonna say roar, roar, because when I was at LAN, the Chargers beat the Broncos, and I am a Broncos fan. So why would I root for the Chargers? Give me the Lions by a million. Let's go, Widener University. Let's move along here to another pick'em here. And this one we're gonna try to get streamed. We're trying our best to get streamed. We're also trying a new stream day on Saturday. That's leading into another OS event. So shout out Saya and Bestie and Slap for trying to make this happen. We're going to talk about NJIT versus the UCF Rods. Both UCF teams making good good promises and good, what do you call it? I'm lost for words now. Good momentum in the beginning of the season here. I'm EP with Snats 18 taking on the reigning national champions. Samuel, who's your pick there?
Anyone but NJIT. Every week for the rest of the time, NJIT is losing every game. That's my prediction. NJIT wins nothing. They win nothing. They get nothing. They'll get no support. Nope.
Yo.
That's my take.
There you go. Okay, Samuel's spoken. He's anti-NJIT the entire season.
NJIT over here.
He's like, they've got their one. I haven't got my one yet. Get out of here.
Exactly.
Get out of here. Vaughn.
Oh, Samuel. Coming from someone who understands how lonely it is when you reach the pinnacle of a league and no one wants to cheer for you anymore, I'll cheer for NJIT because it stinks when you tune in and no one wants you to win anymore. They have a new brawler. She's pretty good. And Katsuna is probably the best player in the league still. So, oh wait. Okay, wait. That was a little. I was thinking midfield. I actually genuinely wasn't thinking of goalie, so that one might be on me a little bit. But also, like, yeah, he's probably still the best player in the league. So.
What?
What do you
Bro,
mean? No, yeah. You're right.
What do you mean?
You almost. I was about to say you gotta get top 2 in S tier, and then I realized you actually almost did. Like that wasn't even about to be fun. I was like, dang, he kind of did. But yeah, I think NJIT's got it. I think Mirimeg is a huge hole to fill, though. I think that guy was really important for that team's success. So they'll run into some like speed bumps, but I don't think they'll be challenged for a while. So go NJIT! Woo!
All right, Weston. We're split right now, Weston. What do you thought? What do you think right now?
Yeah, I'm gonna believe an NJIT loss will happen when I see it. I'm down to be proven wrong, but I'm gonna go with NJIT because yeah, I think the core of that team is very solid, and I think they're gonna continue to win. And Katsuna probably is the best player in the league.
Fair enough. Another probably back-to-back MVP honors there for Katsuna. 3Z, what are your thoughts?
Well, as someone who's coached their brawler a lot in Kyo, they're a player that's pretty good. They've been improving a lot. They had a good season in the North American Strikers League training grounds. And I think they won, even though there were some suspicious things happening. I'm not sure, but suffice to say, I think they're a good brawler. They can get it done. And obviously, you know, the NJIT backline's still solid. It should be a good match, but it's going to be an NJIT sweep for me.
Gotcha. I'm friends with all the UCF guys. I like our Big 12 brothers, sisters, and they thems out in Orlando, Florida. Go Golden Knights. However, that reign is going to end this week, like it will on November 16th when UCF comes into Lubbock to play Texas Tech in football. Give me NJIT. They're going to be keep on going and keeping on their undefeated streak. They're going to try to be the second team ever, or actually no, third team ever, second team ever to be undefeated like SLU did way back when in the back era times. So we'll see if that could happen this season. We'll see if things go their way. And speaking of UCF, let's talk about their sister team playing the SLU Strikers. UCF Frogs versus SLU Strikers. You got Diamond Takey and Goy against Samuel the Fool. Full name here. Insert it. Syntix. Put what Vaughn said earlier right here. And Grant and Spirit Crab. Samuel, I think we already know what you're going to say. Just you can make it short. Or long. I don't care.
Yeah, I'm locking Juno goalie. Try and stop me. There you go.
Beautiful.
That's my statement for the people.
Juno goalie. Love to hear it. Love to hear it. You already have Juno goalie. You already have a Blabo out in Colorado with Weston's background there, so you'll be ready to go. Vaughn.
I got my Juno plushie and my Juno Blabo
there you go.
Back there as well.
There you go. Vaughn. Former head coach of the SLU Strikers.
Former head
Billikens.
coach from their most successful season.
Correct.
As well. Don't forget that. First undefeated season CCL, top 3 finish.
Yes.
That was wait, that's wrong. That's the wrong season. The
top 6 finish.
Oh,
the one we went undefeated. The one we went undefeated was the spring season, and we also got 5th in that one. So GG.
Shout out top 6.
Which Lou
You
would
guys
never
got
be
lock
successful.
in, bro. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know.
Bro, we're a bunch of bums. We're a bunch of bums.
Is that the one where
It's
you
alright.
lost to Auburn?
That's when we lost to you. We lost to GMU into you, 3Z bastard.
Well, I remember
You
I-
crushed
I
my
thought
dreams.
Your winners
And,
lost.
and winners, no, we lost to GMU.
Oh, okay,
Yo,
got it.
3Z.
We beat GMU 9-0.
Atlas, you trying to watch some anime?
Yeah, what are we watching?
W, we'll figure it out later. On the desk is invited. It was like a
Yay!
moment. Like,
Yeah.
if anyone
yeah.
wants, after this,
I'm happy
we're
for you
watching
guys.
something good.
We've been, me
Okay,
and the Slew guys
anyway.
have been watching One Piece. That's been fun.
Holy, oh my God,
Yeah,
One Piece. Okay, let me do my One Piece impression for this prediction.
Go for it. Go for it.
Oh, not the different perspectives.
I think that Kamu. Okay, it's probably Slew. It's probably Slew. I think Slew looks really good. I'm also after the land like the biggest Grant OS fan. I think.
Let's
on the
go,
planet.
Grant!
Let's go, Grant.
I
Yeah.
actually think I am. I think that guy's energy was awesome, and I spoke about like, I don't know, like 3 minutes to him, and that was one of the like top 5 things that I hope if I see that guy again, I get to hang out with him because that guy had great vibes, super dope. Hopefully, he would also want to hang out with me. I realized that maybe I'm just like you, or will hang out with me, and he's like, bro. But I thought he was awesome. I really liked meeting him in person. One of the highlights of my social experience at LAN. So I'm probably gonna be a bit of a Slew fan. So I'm gonna vote for Slew until they play against my boys at Auburn because that's my team this season. But it's a Slew win.
Slew win. Weston.
So the Rogs were the team that beat us the second time in the playoffs last season. So my last CCL game ever was against this team. And I was really impressed all last season with Goy, especially, who I feel like is not very active, like at least in solo queue. I never see Goy or anywhere else, but I see him in CCL, and he's really solid. And then Tanky is my brother in the patch team, and what a wonderful job we did. You're welcome, everyone.
Thank you.
Um,
Thank
so-
you for saving the game.
I gotta roll with him. We rolled together on that patch, so I'm gonna go with the Rogs for this one, and I hope they
Ew.
keep that momentum from last season.
You're getting cut for polar vortex.
I'm down. I'm down. There needs to be some repercussions.
We're
for this
taking your
guy.
job. We're taking your job.
3Z.
Well, listen, like I want to echo what Vaughn said. Grant, super chill guy, was super fun to do some chants during the finals of LAN with him. Taught him the Made You Look Dubu theme song. That was a lot of fun. Obviously, the Fool, this guy, got to know him a little better, play with him. Got into his first top 3 in an S tier. Oh yeah,
Real.
love that.
Beautiful.
I'm a Slew striker this season. I hope these boys get it done. Would love to see it from them. They've always had some chill ass vibes. They had some funny comps, the Mako and the Asher and all that nonsense. We'll see what they pull out of their hats this season. But yeah, I'm feeling like a Slew striker.
W.
Beautiful. Look, I think I'm a tad biased here. Slew has slept in my house. I slept in the same bed last weekend or weekend before last with Grant. Samuel and I did lots of fun things in that B&B. And Spirit Crab's a chiller. So I'm just gonna have to go with SLU here. If Slew, if you guys lose, we're running CS for like 12 hours. I hope you guys know that. So
No,
yeah.
don't take
I'm
me to
dragging you. I'm
Mirage.
dragging you to Mirage, buddy. All right, we're going right to Ancient. Okay, we're going right to Ancient.
Oh no.
Bone chilling. Fate worse than death, indeed. Last but not least, of course, we're going to talk about one of these teams has had an insane run so far, very surprising 2-0 start. And then you've got Fairfield with Phoenix Strages and Drop What Does She Even Do Leto coming out with the Fairfield Stags against Auburn. Samuel, what are your thoughts?
I'm always gonna root for Drop Leto. Big fan of the Drop Leto. What does she even do? Drop Leto, my favorite, my beloved. Also big fan of Strages. Strages was playing with Spirit Crab at LAN, and they did pretty well. Like, they didn't go 0-2, which is like kind of a monumental task, especially nowadays when you're like new players. And so, yeah, I mean, I have a lot of faith for them. I'm a Drop Leto guy. Let's go, Fairfield. I believe.
Vaughn.
Yeah, who likes this drop Loto guy? That guy sucks. He's the worst. Did not just win an S tier with that guy as my beautiful Chungus brawler. Who are they playing again?
They're playing Auburn. Tiger
Oh,
Slash.
he's gonna lose. He's so bad. Auburn sweep. Okay, the wishes bot reviews that we did are gonna pay off. Tiger Slasher will not be crashing out, and then whoever their third is, which I think is the 117 guy, he's gonna perform on the brawler position. And as long as Fairfield doesn't bust out the Drinny, the feared Dropletto secret pocket pick, it's an Auburn win, baby. This is the only time I'll vote against the Stags.
There you go. You got
The
it.
Stags. And clearly I know what Auburn's logo is. So I'll be the Tiger. Ignore the fact that my hand surreptitiously went here and then I answered that question. So it's a Tiger masterclass. Everyone knows tigers are the apex predator and stags are prey. Feast! All right. 2-1.
Feast indeed. Feast indeed. Weston, what are your thoughts?
I picked against the Lions earlier, and I'm gonna pick against the Tigers this time. I'm just not a fan of the big cats. So I'm gonna go with Fairfield. And Strages was cool at LAN. Met him briefly. Saw Dropletto again. Shout out to those guys. Auburn had a really impressive win against OSU, and that was one of the games that I have watched this season. But I still think Fairfield's gonna get it done.
All right. 3-0. That's all we needed. That's it. All right. Fair enough. That's all we need to know.
Go Stags.
Go
Jaw drop.
Stags. Go Stags.
Outrageous.
Wait, I misspoke. Auburn won against GMU. Sorry, not OSU. GMU.
Oh, you got it. You're all good. Yeah. Here, look. I mean, all these guys are chillers. All these guys are certified freaks on the sticks. Love those guys. Love everybody in this matchup. War Damn Eagle and all that. But I mean, come on. I love the Stags. Give me the Stags here. They're gonna win, but I think it'll be a 2-1 Fairfield victory. I think Auburn's got some juice this season. Vaughn's been hyping them up in my DMs, just straight up talking to me about how cool Auburn is, and I'm like, all right,
Every day.
I believe you, Vaughn. I believe you. I love you, buddy. But you know, this time I don't think it's gonna happen. It's a Fairfield sweep. Actually, no, it's not a sweep. It's 2-1. But yes, you understand what I'm saying here. Fellas, thank y'all so much for joining me on the first actual episode of CCL Game Day, Reloaded, of course. Any final thoughts here, fellas? No?
I can't read. I can't write. But that don't really matter. I'm a Corestrike fan, and I can
drive a tractor. And I can Pauldron's Asher. Thank y'all so much for having us. Thank y'all so much for watching. Yes, Vaughn.
There's an activity we're gonna do next time. We're all gonna come to the desk and have a haiku about CCL.
Beautiful. We're gonna do haikus, and then also make sure to go into our Clips channel, not Chips channel. What am I talking about? Clips channel in the CCL Discord. We're gonna do a random clip competition here, and we're gonna try to guess who got a goal. So you four cannot watch. You four cannot look at the Clips channel. Post your clip. We'll have Syntix edit it up and censor all the names. We're gonna see which team got a goal. Thank y'all so much for watching. Enjoy week 3 of CCL, and we'll see y'all next time. Recom Tech. Adios.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to week 3 of CCL. Today we have the St. Clair Saints versus the U Tulsa Hurricanes in our first match of the stream. Hopefully we will get into these character selections, but our first map seems to be Night Market. Tat, what do you think about Night Market in the current meta?
Let's see. So, actually, Maryville, my team, played against these freaks at St. Clair in week 1, and they took us to Night Market game 1 as well. So it should be a interesting little match that we're gonna see here. I believe they were looking at the Dubu when we played last, but definitely a very big team to watch out for on the side of St. Clair. They are 1-1 this season so far, but I would definitely be down to see something being pulled out from them. It looks like it is going to be a Dubu, Imi, and Juliet here from Tulsa. That'll be pretty big with that Juliet, especially on the night market. Nice, fun little map. Also, we are going to see SEC banning away that Juno from the Tulsa, and that Asher now and Finney should be a very interesting comp to be picked up from St. Clair with Bailable on the now goalie. So that should be a very interesting comp to see here. Now is an interesting character pick on this map. I think the Twin Drive will be very good on her with this match. But as we get into it, it looks like it is Twin Drives almost across the board with Embered on that Asher opting to take the Stinger in this game. Another interesting pick, though, here is going to be Shiro Isu picking up that Siphoning Wand, Twin Drive Finney. Twin Drive, always good on almost every character on the cast. But also that Siphoning Wand should allow for a bit more damage where you might not really be seeing it come out from a character like Asher that Embered has against this side of Tulsa.
Yeah, and already we've seen some barriers go down, and Torin just gave up a the third barrier of the match. Let's see if, and what a redirect there from Embered into Shiro. Wow, crazy goal to start off this match for St. Clair.
Yeah, first goal already locked in for St. Clair. Looks like we do have a name off down for the side of Tulsa, but that doesn't matter too much as we're getting into the second point, and already it looks like St. Clair knows what they want their game plan to be. They have a decent bit of damage pressure that you wouldn't expect. As you can see there, Doggitos taking into the staggered health bar just already. Gonna be pretty scary, even with, as I said earlier, this Asher and this now and the Finney. But that is going to be Juliet going up and almost getting the goal in nice and quick. But that is still, though, the open net for the side of St. Clair. This could be a bit of a scary spot.
Yeah, this is a very scary spot for St. Clair here. But it looks like they've gotten the pressure back out and are flipping it on its head. And I really liked from Tulsa Hurricanes how Doggett, when he was down really low on HP, he just kind of took over his goalie and Torin pushed way up, and they were able to get both barriers broken. And with that, Tulsa, Juliet, and Doggett both make a nice play on the goalie to tie it up 1-1.
Yeah, it's all tied up here, just like with the scores for the teams. 1-1 teams playing, and it's all tied up in those first points. These are pretty crucial. There isn't any crazy scaling that can happen. It's not like a full spark start or something. But I mean, any point you could get like a Monumentalist on that now, or the Imi could get an extra special, and all of a sudden it becomes a very scary match for whatever the other team is. So you really want to be able to close down, lock down this first set, and it looks like there is one flip available for both teams. Oh, two flips now available for Tulsa. So we're gonna see what they can do right now. Though one barrier up for each of these teams. We'll see what happens now as Bailable uses theirs to get core out, but it's not enough to get the clear.
Yeah, not enough to get the clear, and so much pressure and great passing from Doggitos into their Juliet. Great score. All I can say is Tulsa seems to have way more pressure than St. Clair, even with less damage.
Yeah, definitely. I think that Imi and Julie combo is far more typical in the meta and also out of the meta, Just those two characters work very well together versus the Finney, who doesn't quite have the kind of movement that the Imi might have. And as Torin running up with the flip, not quite able to get the score. Shiro Iso using it to get it through, but I mean, they just don't have any real pressure that Asher has to be getting somewhere, some kind of way with the core, and there's just not enough of that yet.
Yeah, and Torin has just been playing this great up goalie and has been able to get back in time, even on a slower character like Dubu. And oh wow, what a read from Doggy Toes from their Imi there. That the pressure just to get that goal, 3-1. What an interesting set from UTulsa.
Yeah, first set over now. UTulsa going to be able to go into the draft first. That looks like a Monumentalist that we might potentially be seeing as a deny from Bailables now. But no, it looks like we're going to leave it up for just a second here. Adrenaline Rush is picked up by that Juliet. Should be very nice to have. Quick Strikes as well picked up for Torin. Should be a pretty good awakening here is going further into the draft. I mean, I think everybody on the field got some sort of awakening that they really want to have available, opting for that hot shot over the Monumentalist. Really just kind of up to preference, but I mean, either way, that's going to be Shiro Isu instead picking up that Monumentalist, which should be very, very nice to have. Just the bigger ultimate, more opportunities for kind of stuffing the core into the corner, where right now they don't really have as much of that pressure. But I mean, that 1-2 punch as well onto Ember should be very nice to see.
Yeah, we already just saw it in work there to break the first barrier, but then Doggy Toes gets another great barrier on Bailable. And Bailable putting up some solid saves and some solid defensive work from the now, but Ember can just not get it out of the top left corner. Torin playing some great pressure, and a little core flip just to stall it out and see if they can make anything work, but Ember and Bailable playing some great defense here. And a very interesting ricochet, but it's another core break. It's another barrier break. Bailable trying to get it out, but failing.
Yeah, they're able to keep it up for the time being, though. That Asher is not in a position you want to see. Shiro Isu just doesn't have that movement to get back and help their goalie on time, and so it leaves up that Asher and Bailable trying to work together. Oh, almost a goal scored off of the off clear. But for the time being, both of these teams are just kind of pummeling it out, fighting each other, trying to figure something out. But interesting night market angle, going to open up some opportunities, and that's going to go in.
Wow, what a read from Torin to Doggy Toes, and Doggy Toes with the perfect redirect into the net there. That was really impressive from UTulsa.
Yeah, and I mean, we're going into this set. It looks like a UTulsa game all the way, as now that is going to be Juliet staggered. This is where some of that damage may come out. They have a bit of a weird way of applying that damage, but if they can get these kills, if they can do something big with this power play, they might be able to get something going. And that is both barriers down now for Torin, but that Dubu is not going anywhere as that Tofu Fortress gets placed down, and now it's looking like that flip might need to be used by Shiro to get the goal.
Yeah, and that flip almost scored them a goal, but Torin with some great saves there to clutch up and keep them in the game, but Shiro Isu with the Finny ultimate just, sends that core flying into the back of the net, tying this set up 1-1.
Yeah, there's a lot of first, primary attacks coming out from UTulsa, but ultimately St. Clair does have some sort of response. That's not going to be a very good response, though, in exchange, as that's going to be the Asher taken off the field, and now it is power play, but they are getting stopped currently by the two team on the defense. That was a very, very unfortunate spot for the side of UTulsa to be in, and they unfortunately wasted some of that power play pressure. Now it's back up to the 3v3, and Dogitos is looking super low with that flip gone.
Yeah, Dogitos gone with that flip. What an incredible counterplay after they lost their Ember. They are now applying the pressure back to UTulsa, but UTulsa get it out. Bailable almost giving up a goal there, but luckily saving it up. Now everyone is back on the court. Everyone is trying to make something happen. Juliet to Torin. Shiro Isu back to their goalie Bailable. Now it's down into OT. The core is going to continue to speed up as Ember tries to make something happen on the top side. Bailable shooting it back up top, trying to get it away from their bottom barrier. And, ooh, wow, an almost barrier break from Torin.
Yeah, no barriers down yet, but I mean, that's what the Dubu goalie excels at, and now Ember going to lose that flip, expecting a clear into them, but ultimately, that Asher, if you can hit it away from that Asher, that's all you need to do. as now Baleful does have that flip up, but that's going to be the barrier down. Goal open for the side of St. Clair, and now it is all they can do. They have the flip up. They might have to pull some shenanigans, though, to get the save.
Yeah, and I think the shenanigans they're trying to pull is get into a power play situation, take Doggy Toes off the map, and try and see if they can get anything working. And Emberd kills Doggy Toes. Power play for St. Clair here, trying to make something work, trying to get that barrier broken, but Juliet with the major pressure on the top side. But St. Clair's continues to work that bottom side. Shiru Asu trying to pass to Emberd, no good. Torin trying to clear it out from their goal, trying to make something happen. Now trying to work the bottom side. Doggy Toes not making anything go through, but he gets something through. Baleable sends it up to the top side, and so much util pressure that it's just not enough. Baleable, with his incredible saves, cannot make anything work, and Utulsa takes a 2-1 lead this set.
Yeah, I think that big finish from Shiro Asu might have come a bit in their own team's fault. As now that is going to be Utulsa up once again in this set, and they aren't going to stop here. Is Ember getting taken off the field. That is a power play now, along with that adrenaline rush for the Juliet. They are going to be able to keep it up for now, but that flip going to be sent away, and that's an open net. That's going to go straight in. And now we are on to the draft.
Yeah, very interesting plays here. We thought and speculated at the start that St. Clair Saints was going to have the damage comp advantage, but it seems like Utulsa, just with their slightly better meta picks, have had the more damage advantage. I feel like they've gotten more KOs than the other team. But here we see a big fish from Dubu. Very interesting pick to just make that guy a beefy, chunky boy in the goal. And then Amy going for a built diff. Now with the aerials. And a super surge on the Asher, which I didn't think is the greatest pick here, but what other choice do they have? What do you think, Fatat?
So I think they didn't have too many other options. I think the Unstoppable might have been a bit nice, just to prevent some of that defensive opportunity from getting over to that Juliet, because now you got a Juliet with Unstoppable in your face, and you don't have Unstoppable to combat it or, not die, so it could be a bit of a scary spot here if some of that damage gets put on. But that is going to be the core saved away. I think that Super Surge might allow them to have a little bit more pressure on the Emberd, and that is going to almost go in.
Oh, wow, and he almost gets it in, but instead Torin sacrifices his life to save it. Oh, but that's 2 barriers down for St. Clair, and both teams have open nets here, and Utulsa is just waiting for Torin to come back, and he finally does. Their big boy in goal makes it back to the court just in time, and now Julia and Doggy make some pressure happen on the top side on Baleable, but Baleable with some incredible saves to clearing it out to Shiru Ashu on the bottom. Now Ember trying to make the pressure, can't get anything. Doggy Toes to Torin. Torin clears it to the top side, keeps clearing it, and there's just so much heat going back and forth, but Ember finally gets a little stun lock on Torin to put it in the net. 1-0 for St. Clair this set.
Yeah, St. Clair maybe showing up a little bit. This is their time to shine. And if they can't do it now, then they won't have the chance to do it for the rest of the match. Ember, though, does have a bit more of that offensive pressure thanks to the twin drive, is able to just jump forward at you. But unfortunately, it hasn't come in handy quite yet in this point, as now, Dogitos and Keklord have been doing a very good job of just kind of forcing the core into the corner, putting the other team in a bad spot, and right there, look at that cyber swipe and that dash punch combo just to go straight in, and now it's an open net for the side of St. Clair. This is not a spot that is any new to us, as Utulsa looking very strong right now.
Yeah, Utulsa looking extremely strong with their comp. Their Keklord on the Julie and Doggy Toes on the Amy have just been putting in work on the offensive pressure, and Torin has just been able to, on the Dubu goal, play up and still get back, and Juliet there with a really nice core flip into the bottom corner of their net to tie it up 1-1.
Yeah, they were definitely down in the set, but not quite out now, as They're up. They're all tied up in the set, and I mean, you can just see some of this pressure. It is now one barrier down for the side of St. Clair. They only have 2 flips to work with, and 1 barrier now to potentially keep this point. They do definitely have that energy priority, but that is going to be flip used away from Bailable in order to keep the core out of their net. And this is a scary spot of Shiro Ice, who does have that flip, but doesn't have the movement that you really want to see in order to get the core around and through and up the field. 1 more point now, and this could be very scary as Torin has that flip available and is going to use it to keep it out, but ultimately this is a lack of pressure now as Emberd is taken off the map, and there's only 2 players left on St. Clair Saints.
Yeah, as an Asher player, Emberd has just been losing his KO fights and has just been getting knocked off the map so much that St. Clair's just loses any offensive pressure when Emberd is not there. But look at these core flips, and look at all this movement coming out. Shiro Isu trying to get Emberd some good passes into a spot, but Torin is just putting that tofu wall up and saying no good. And Keck Lord and Dougie Toes, with some great passing, managed to find an open area on the net. 2-1 UTulsa.
Yeah, just sneaking.
Isn't this match point?
This is, yeah, now match point for the side of UTulsa. That last point, kind of scary, that's just snuck right past the Dorito from Bailable. But now, Juliet, Torin, Dogitos, they're trying to get something going now as Emberd is going to be able to open up the barrier with that barrier beam and maybe tie up this set, but it's a very scary spot to be in. Torin is going to be able to keep it out for now, though, and both flips available for the forwards of UTulsa, and that's going to be the barrier open. Both goals now open.
Yeah, both goals now open, and it comes down to Doggy Toes and UTulsa having more core flips and more energy than St. Clair Saints, and UTulsa wins 3-0. What a domination on Night Market there.
Yeah, definitely. I think they knew what they wanted to do in this game, and they just did exactly that. They pulled up 3-0 victory in 16 minutes. A bit on the longer side for 3-0 victories. We definitely did see a lot of fight back from the side of the St. Clair Saints, as Shiro Isu and Emberd with 3 goals between them. But ultimately, it was just, I think, a very offensive, very heavy damage and offense comp coming out from the side of UTulsa between that Juliet and that Aini. But unfortunately, there was just too much damage and too much pressure. And the now goalie, it is a very fun pick. You saw 169 redirects onto Bailables now, as well as that 71 saves. And even a kill to throw that in. But ultimately, just not enough defensive opportunities. When you're stuck in the corner as this very, very sad business worker, you know, there's not a whole lot you can do as the now. And there are ways to save it, but ultimately just not a whole lot of opportunities. And so we saw UTulsa going up now 1-0 in the series.
Yeah, UTulsa takes a 1-0 lead in the series here. And Torin, I want to say, had some incredible goalie play on that Dubu. He was able to come forward whenever they were in power play opportunities and just produce so much pressure. But whenever the power play was off, he was able to get back and make some really great saves playing on that Dubu. And I feel like it was just a difference in picks here. Like St. Clair Saints had some really good plays on their agents, but their agents, especially their Finney as their midfielder, was just lacking in that ability to create opportunities and create a lot of pressure. But now we move on to map 2, and map 2 is St. Clair Saints map pick of Atlas Lab. Patat, what do you think about Atlas Lab? Because personally, this is one of my favorite maps.
I mean, yeah, Atlas's Lab is one of, like, in my opinion, like the big 3, and I think other people's opinion too. We'll see. But Atlas's Lab, you know, it's kind of like if you don't have your fundies down on this map, it's really hard to have fundies down on any other map, which is very similar to the way that you can look at Night Market. 2 very neutral maps here going into this game. And there's not really any crazy special character that just wins, like Rasmus on Imi's map, or something similar. So I mean, here it's just going to be a matter of how good are your fundamentals, how well you play, and what I'm seeing here is first of all a St. Clair Saints Dubu pickup, which I believe is going to be picked up for available. Tried at the now, wasn't quite able to get some of those defensive opportunities with that character, but now we're seeing the Dubu come on out, and this could be an opportunity for a bit of a redemption arc for the side of St. Clair Saints. This is what they want to see, is having that big, strong Dubu to utilize. Over on the other side, we are going to be seeing U Tulsa pick up that Asher and that Estelle for their roster. So it should be a bit of an interesting match. I'd imagine these characters are both in the forward position, between the explosive entrance for, I'd imagine, both of those characters, just to get some of that movement, get some of that pressure and damage flowing. But there's also that Stagger Swagger pickup as well, that can be an opportunity for offense and defense and just general speed, that I might be. I could definitely see. I definitely think that Dubu is going to be picking that Stagger Swagger, and a couple other things like that, as well as that Centauro with the explosive entrance. So it should be interesting to see as we're getting our final few picks up here. What do you think about this draft?
I really like this draft here for St. Clair. Immediately picking the Dubu for their goalie and taking Torin off of one of his better characters is a really good pickup. And then I'm looking at U Tulsa's lineup here of Asher, Estelle, and Rasmus, and I'm not 100% sure who is going to be on goalie. If anything, I'd probably say it'd be an Estelle goalie, which is a very interesting pick for this map. As a goalie player myself, I wouldn't feel comfortable with playing any of these characters as a goalie, but what other choice do you have when Atlas is banned and Dubu's already taken? Like, there's not many great characters. Whereas I feel like St. Clair Saints just has the better comp lineup with Dubu and goalie now in the midfield and Zentaro putting up so much offensive pressure here.
Yeah, we're going to have to see what kind of shenanigans can be gotten up to in this match. I think definitely it is a bit of a swap in terms of the general, like, bread and butter picks. That Dubu now Centauro is definitely something that you're going to be expecting to see far more than Estelle, Rasmus, Asher. But I think also, it is very something to note coming into this match. U Tulsa already up 1-0. Has a little bit of wiggle room in terms of just staying alive, having their fun, and that is going to be Torin picking up that Asher with pauldrons. A bit of a weird pickup. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I love that character in that net, but she does have a lot of weird things that can happen, and a lot of her abilities just don't work for fun sometimes. So we'll see if that happens. But already, oh my god, Embered taken so low, and doesn't have that Stagger Swagger with that Zentaro, opting for the bread and butter. Always picking up that explosive entrance onto that Zentaro. So he doesn't have any real healing outside of Shiraisu, so we'll see if they can maybe take out that low Zentaro health bar a bit more often. But then on the other side, of course, you got that double Stagger Swagger and the explosive entrance onto Doggitos, so should be pretty interesting to see here as both barriers are down for St. Clair.
Yeah, both barriers down for St. Clair here as Ember turns around and gets the offensive pressure to knock down U Tulsa's second barrier, but immediately gets taken out by Doggets on the Estelle. Now with the power plays, Torin is pushing up forward, but doesn't have the mobility that he had with the Dubu. Rasmus trying to make something work, but can't get anything going through Bailable's Dubu. And here we go. Let's see if Torin can switch it up to the high side, give it to Kecklord here. Kecklord and Doggets trying to put pressure on Bailable, and what a play there. Kecklord just reading that core redirect so perfect to put it in the bottom of their net. 1-0 to U Tulsa.
Yeah, I'm trying to tell whether or not that was fully planned out or it was just a lucky happenstance. But either way, really good goal, catching the rebound off of that black hole in order to get a nice, easy hit into the net to lock down this first point. And now second point, almost both barriers going down for the side of St. Clair, as both barriers are down for Utul. So Torin earlier opting to try and get some damage onto Embers and Taro rather than keep those barriers alive. But now that is going to be Kekler taken off the field, and that's an open net for both teams and a power play. But Dogito's crazy going to be able to close that down.
Yeah, Dogito's with an insane goal and an insane read on Bailable. Wall down a man in the power play, takes them up 2-0 on this set. Corresponds topside, and immediately the black hole is broken. Torin countering anything Ember does, but Shiro Aisu comes in and is able to break that first and that second barrier with Ember. The Now and the Zentaro combo just has so much forward offensive pressure that if you can't get it out of your side, like just what just happened there, you're going to get scored on. 2-1, Tulsa is up, but St. Clair has the momentum here.
Yeah, it could be a bit of a scary spot for St. Clair, but they know what they're doing. They may or may not have 9-1 my team in both of our games, so they definitely are one of the better looking teams this season in the first place. But that is going to be one barrier going down for each side, as we're looking at a bit of a standoff here. Torin does have that flip available though, going into this point.
Yeah, Torin with that flip available has been walking up on that top side, and I feel like St. Clair is just in this very defensive heavy spot. They have not really had the opportunity to get anything out. Keklord has been making some stuff work. Doggy Toes, core flip to Torin, core flip, but nowhere to go, and then Doggy Toes manages to get something open on the bottom side, and 3-1, UTulsa takes set 1 on St. Clair's map pick here. So I'm very interested to see this selection.
Yeah, I mean, UTulsa seems just as confident in this game as they were in the last one, and now that's going to be a heavy impact pickup for that Estelle, which many think is not great, but it is actually pretty good. So that'll be very nice to see with some of those extra impacts. And also, I mean, Torin picking up prime time is going to be so big for them, because that is an Asher that is massive and right up in your face, and also now has 2 of the barrier beams rather than just the 1. So definitely more opportunities to defend. I think Torin might definitely be getting bored a little bit on the defensive line, leading to some of these troll little plays. But at the same time, you know, if you just hold down that one barrier as that Asher, you are set for life pretty much. You can't lose that barrier. But now one barrier down for both teams, and Dogitos and Keklor just working together, able to open up that second barrier for St. Clair Saints.
Yeah, St. Clair down 2 barriers, UTulsa only down 1. Open net for St. Clair as Torin clears it up to Keklord. Keklord trying to make something work, and he gets the stun lock on Bailable to take a 1-0 lead in set 2 here. I feel like UTulsa is just super confident in their map picks and super confident in their team comps here, whereas St. Clair Saints just doesn't have that confidence that we should be seeing out of the 5 seed.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Dogitos and Keklord on the Rasmus and Estelle, you know, that is a comp that you see a whole lot, maybe a bit more commonly on that Oni Village pickup. But at the same time, this is a very comfortable forward comp together. They both have so many of those stuns that just, it sucks to play against as a goalie. And so just having these characters, having that opportunity, makes things super easy for these 2 players. And now it's time.
Yeah, now it's time where Torin jumps in with the core flip, tries to get something going. Doggy Toes cannot beat Emberd on that bottom side, and now Emberd and Shiro Aisu have a really interesting power play on the top. Emberd with the core flip into Shiro Aisu, trying to make anything work. Now back over to Keklord, trying to get something off, but Bailable core flips it away. Emberd now trying to do some little passes to himself on the bottom side, trying to make anything work. And Torin with the incredible core flip up to Keklord, and Keklord is just able to beat Bailable in the one-on-one scoring for UTulsa. 2-0 in set 2. Is there any hope for St. Clair here?
I mean, we'll have to see. Shiro Aisu does have that flip available, but they're going to have to be able to open up that net and get something going. The big problem with the Asher goalie is that she doesn't have very much movement, and almost none. So she's basically just a setting duck in net, especially with that pauldrons pickup. So if you're able to open up that barrier, that second barrier that she holds down so effectively, then you might have an opportunity to just get the core around, get some goals going. But that takes a lot of discipline, a lot of practice in order to coordinate some of these picks. And for now, we're not going to see that barrier go down. And the Sad Boys angle going to make it so that the barrier stays up, as Torin rocking up with that flip could be the end.
Yeah, Torn walking up with that flip manages to get the second barrier on St. Clair Saints, and then manages, even with his lack of mobility, to get back and protect that one barrier he's been holding down so well. But Ember just manages to get it around with the core flip. Open net for both teams. Torin to Dogitos to Keklord in the corner. Available has been playing such an incredible goalie and is trying to get it out. Clears it out. Down to Shiru Aisu and Ember with the incredible redirect read to put it in Torin's net. This is a 1-2 set. St. Clair's just scored their first point of the match, I think, or maybe their second point of their match. I'm not 100% sure, but it seems like they are, you know, they're making a comeback. They're making good adjustments mid-match.
Yeah, I think this is their second point of the match, but I could be proven wrong. I think they've made some necessary adjustments. They have an understanding of what they need to do. And I mean, with that double flip available, it could maybe be curtains for this fourth point in this set, but that flip is going to be used by Available in order to keep it out, and now that is barrier down as Torin working their way up on the field.
Yeah, Torin just continues to push up out, playing this very uncharacteristic walkout goalie here. And St. Clair Saints just has not known how to stop them. And Keklord, with the incredible on the staggered in the corner, manages to get his wow, I can't even speak. It was incredible. What a play to take the set 3-1. Now let's see what these awakenings look like.
Yeah, I mean, great play to close that out. Bit of an unfortunate roll from Bellable, just barely missing the core, which every debut gets one. And that is going to, however, be 2 sparks now for that Rasmus, that Keklord on that red side. So could be interesting to see if they lose this next set, they could potentially scale even so with the sparks. But that is also going to be Torin picking up extra size. You know, as I mentioned earlier, you love size on that Asher, and having a prime time, having that second primary as well is going to be so nice for you. Dogitos, you know, also opting into that twin drive. Really good picks across the board from the side of Tulsa, and we just didn't quite see as incredible of picks. I think that missile propulsion and the quick strikes on Available and Shiru Aisu respectively should be very nice to have, but orb dancer is not really something you want to have too often if you are that forward, just because there's not a whole lot of scaling or anything you can really get going. But there's going to be both barriers down for both sides and open nets for both.
Yeah, open nets for both teams here as Torin tries to get any clears and anything going on the top side. Torin with the incredible save. Shiru Aisu almost had a goal there. And then Rasmus just continues to be a nuisance in Bailable's face as Dogitos puts in the score. 1-0 for set 3 for Tulsa, and Tulsa looking like they have all the momentum. They had the better awakening picks there than St. Clair's, and they just seem to be putting so much more pressure on the board than St. Clair's can. And
yeah, and that kill might just be the wraps for this point as well. That's a pretty scary spot to be in, as now that's 2 flips available as well on the power play for Tulsa. Could be a very spare spot though. Shiru Aisu is back available.
Yeah, Shiru Aisu managed to come back without them giving up the second barrier. And now let's see if, with his revitalized confidence, Shiru Aisu and Ember can make anything happen on the offensive side of the game. And it looks like they are. Dogitos is down into staggered health range. He's playing very back, very passive, trying not to get killed here. Oh, but he might get killed there. Doesn't, manages to survive just a little bit. Torin with the walk-up Sad Boys angle from the core flip. Doesn't get the barrier broken, and now Ember is staggered. Ember taking a lot of damage, a lot of the heat off of St. Clair, but hopefully he stays up and does not go down, because if he goes down, this power play could be devastating for St. Clair's.
Yeah, St. Clair has been very effective with a lot of their power plays in the past part of this game. So if they're able to get some more power plays going, then that might be very useful for them, just able to close this out. But instead, we're going to be seeing, I think that's the second or, if not third point, or part of this point that we've seen that Sad Boys angle come out in order to keep the barrier alive for St. Clair. But it is not going to stay alive for much longer as Available going to drop that barrier thanks to a Dubu roll. Going awry once again, but they're going to be able to keep it up for now against that double forward from the side of St. Clair.
Yeah, and Kecklord just immediately gets it out, and Ember manages to split the defense. Torn and Doggitos can do nothing when Ember dumps all his utility on that core, manages to score for St. Clair's 1-1 in the set. Set 3 is looking to be a little bit different.
Yeah, we have those flips available again, once available, just about to get theirs up, and Shiraisu has that flip to use as well, so we're going to see how well that's used. Ember 2 now, 3 flips available for the side of St. Clair Saints. One is used to keep it away. That's Doggitos and Kecklord working their way up the field, trying to get this last barrier down for the side of St. Clair.
Yeah, but Kecklord here is staggered, looking to avoid getting killed by Embered here, and is still managing to put a ton of pressure on Available and Shiraisu in defense. Torum with the core flip to keep it up. He's walked up so far. This is an incredible play, and the Sad Boys angle keeps Utulsa alive. Torum better get back as he does. And there goes Kecklord. He has been staggered off the field. St. Clair's has a power play right now, and Utulsa just needs to stay alive as best as they can. But with this Estelle and Asher comp, they managed to save the barrier until Kecklord gets back. And Kecklord, with some incredible passing plays off of Doggitos, manages to score there on Available, who can do nothing in his net. 2-1 Utulsa, match point.
Yeah, both of these goalies are characters that if they don't have an ability up, they can't really reach you. And Doggitos and Kecklord showing that very effectively, as now they're trying to open up this second barrier for the side of St. Clair, but instead it's going to be Utulsa dropping both their barriers. This is the potential for St. Clair if they just need to get this 1 point and then the next point after that in order to maybe tie up this game, get it a little closer to even.
And Torin had some incredible saves there from Ember, but Available with the walk-up Dubu log manages to tie this set up 2-2. This is key. This is pivotal for both teams. If St. Clair's can steal this set away from Utulsa, they will not get 2-0'd. But Utulsa coming out with a frenzy of heat, trying to make something work on that top side, but inevitably they give up that bottom barrier, and Torin has just got to lock down that top one with his Asher play. He passes it to Doggitos, but nothing there. Embered and Shiraisu running into that bottom corner, trying to make something work. Available with some great saves as Shiraisu has it in the bottom corner, waiting for Ember to come up. And he gets it to Ember, and Ember takes the second barrier off of Utulsa, but Kecklord immediately turns it around and takes the barrier off of St. Clair Saints. Doggitos with the great core flip out, and Kecklord breaks the second barrier. Both nets are open. Who can capitalize? And it seems like Torin with the core flip all the way up to Kecklord, and Kecklord puts it away for Utulsa. A 3-2 set 3 victory to 2-0 sweep this match. What a match.
Yeah, I mean, crazy ending there. It got pretty intense. St. Clair Saints just needed one more to be able to close it out, but ultimately weren't able to, as Kecklord and Torin and Doggitos all work together really well. Just got a lot of those really good defensive, offensive plays going. And yeah, we're going to see Utulsa taking that series in 6-0 in sets. They did drop, what is it, 7 goals in total throughout that series, but ultimately that just wasn't quite enough, as St. Clair Saints going to drop down to 1-2 on the season. Utulsa Hurricanes going up to 2-1. Both teams still, I believe, in the running for playoffs, which isn't really even something we got to start worrying about yet. We're still only week 3. We got 3 more to go. But now, I mean, Tulsa able to take that series. Really good team plays from just the roster as a whole. You gotta give some credit to Torin and Dogitos. They are teammates for they were teammates for LAN. They've been teammates for a long time with the Cutie Patooties. So a lot of really good players, a lot of team practice as well for UTulsa, and ultimately just they showed up. They were able to get past some of that seed priority. I mean, seed 13 upset on seed number
Yeah.
5. So very nice to see.
A very incredible upset for you, Tulsa, in that sense. Even though I think, in my opinion, they were the better team going into this. They just have more cohesiveness, more ability to work together, and have been playing together for, I feel, longer than St. Clair's has. And it showed in this match. The amount of times they were able to pass to each other and make some openings happen was the decision maker on this map, especially St. Clair's map pick. But after this incredible match, the next match coming up is NJIT versus UCF Rods, and you will have some new casters to commentate that match.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the CCL stream. I'm here with Frying Pan Man and we're here to watch the UCF Rods versus NJIT Esports, and this is going to be an interesting one, right? The UCF Rods, no, they're not weak, but NJIT, this is the Titan of Collegiate. This is the team you have to beat.
True that, Saya. I mean, these players, a lot of them, already very well established. Repeating myself there, but either way, Nats, Pewis, Imi, I've seen them all do pretty crazy things. We're already ending the match because it's just too much of a weight for all these players to bear. But they've all got pretty big results, both in CCL and also just outside of that in the queues. Katsuna, though, pretty well known in the NJIT roster as well, so UCF's going to have a problem there. EKC Mingo, though, I'm excited to see what they bring to the table. Mai as well, though, been known to cause the havoc. I think this match is going to get pretty chaotic at the very least.
Yeah, Katsuna, of course, the biggest reputation here. Separate from EKC and also separate from Mary Meg in this one. EKC Mingo, we were talking about that player earlier. Very, very interesting. Pretty new, it seems, and we're going to have to see how they do. On the other side, you mentioned it a little bit, the UCF Rods, also established players. They haven't reached the highest of highs, but they are incredibly well known throughout the competitive scene, especially if you've watched a season or two of OSAS. And what do you think?
It's tough. I think overall, I'd got to give the advantage to UCF here. Still, they've got that edge there, like you mentioned, OSAS experience in other tournaments here and there. But honestly, hey, I'm excited to see EKC Mingo, new player on the block. If they make up for that, bring it all the way around, and NGIT might even run the show in that case.
Heading right into game here and taking a look at the compositions. Are you surprised or are you not? And you mentioned it also earlier, but the player named Daimi, often seen on Dubu.
I mean, hey, I don't know why we're being so unfaithful to Imi. Imi is mad easy, I won't lie. Really good, easy character. But hey, Dubu still pretty strong, so, and I'm a fan of the fluffy hamster myself. I can't say I'm not against the pick.
Yeah, definitely interesting, but that's the first goal already. Mai in position to score it for NJIT there. And it really hinges on Katsuna and Mai being very efficient with their scoring, right? EKC Mingo, it's not that I don't trust them to perform, but the veteran players need to support the newer player.
The veteran players got to start passing the torch over. But still, their comp just in general, I think, flows a lot better. Julie and, I mean, Estelle's just pretty good into any sort of forward, really. But when you're backing up Mai, that's got to feel even better. Comparatively, though, UCF running the Asher here, generally been a less popular pick in recent times. I think it could work, but Nat's definitely playing quite a bit back here to support, so I'm a little worried about that Asher offense actually going through, especially with Pewis now on the back burner here, taking quite a bit of damage.
I mean, a dangerous spot, and Bai has the flip. Oh no! It might be the team that Soren's more associated with, but on the other side, a bit of a Soren moment waiting for the flip to arrive. And Mai gets it done, and Imi, not the role you were looking for.
I mean, sometimes I feel like running, not pauldrons, running, pummelers makes your flip knock back more sometimes, because dang, that kill was great. But either way, Imi now having to feel it even worse with that one barrier going down. Pewis, though, coming in to try and grab more, and with Nats taking out a player, it's UCF that's feeling the advantage here, but they've got to make this power play work. Is Mai and EKC Mingo, the new player on the block, going to bring it around? I mean, they've been holding so well so far, and the power play is already over.
EKC Mingo, that defense was looking quite legitimate there. Rotated the abilities, rotated the strike shot in the middle of that. Looking a lot better than your average gold-ranked individual here on this Atlas, but that's one barrier still going down. Pewis in position up to Nats, but interrupted by Katsuna. That's what a former Nassau midfielder can do, but Nats with the Asher barrier beam. That is the ultimate equalizer if you get into position with it. Mai on the other side, though, prepping the offense, looking for the strike. The layered offense, not quite enough as Imi attempts to walk up. The core flip available now for the goalie of UCF.
Yeah, but even if that's the case, I mean, Katsuna and Mai not too far from flip themselves, especially with that flip getting wasted. I mean, you don't want to see that. But what does it matter when Mai going for the kill, already going to end up scoring? EKC Mingo wasn't ready for the the team damage there, and well, that goal is going to be going for the first one over to UCF instead.
Yeah, well played by UCF. And they're putting on the damage. You mentioned it a little bit, but they have potential. They have the ability to focus down a player, and they got to make sure they take someone out of commission before Mai and Katsuna, the offensive duo, find way too much pressure, take the barriers in an instant, because that's what they're trying to do here. Not quite successful at it so far, but it's only a matter of time.
I mean, it was close, too. They had some great setups, but P was coming back there, giving really good support, and combining some incredible defensive plays with Aimi just made that offensive play unable to happen. But still, while Mai might not have a flip, both Katsuna and Mingo having one means that NJIT going to have a good advantage here if they're going to keep up the battle of attrition, although that is going to be difficult. Katsuna taking damage, Aimi with a great roll, though, meaning that Mai isn't going to get that offense anytime soon. Wow, these holds are incredible.
Yeah, Aimi is timing these logs abilities very well, but that strike war was difficult and positions too far down, overcommits for the barrier that's already gone, and the pass from Katsuna, not even a pass, just a full shot, is what seals out this set. And even though Aimi, you mentioned it, playing so well on the defense, if you leave one opening, I mean, that's where NJIT pounces, that's where they build their lead.
Yeah, Dubu loves to keep it closed goals for as long as they can. So once you get into that open net, that's going to be the point of destruction if you're not careful. And when you give Estelle the ability to pass there, that's going to make it even harder to deal with. But all in all, Awakenings-wise, Estelle, Julie, both getting pretty decent picks here. Dubu going for the Spark of Leadership, not a bad scaling pick, and it gives their teammates the options to get other Awakenings, although not sure if CTL for Kai and... Well, actually, I'm okay with the Orb Dancer on Asher. It could work out here.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting. Oh, and it looks like there's a bit of a misinput on the stat screen. I'll get that fixed in just a second, but what I'm most interested in is Mai, with the heavy impact now, has the capability to take over the game even more than before, and dish out the damage, importantly. Before, I think Mai and Katsuna were the ones getting a bit bullied, but right now it's looking like quite the opposite. Okay, never mind. It's not the opposite.
Yeah, but hey, even if they are getting bullied, EKC Mingo coming in with the healing means that Mai not going to feel too bad, but Nats very well placed secondary there. The Asher dash coming through, and it means that barrier is gone. UCF definitely going to want to take advantage of this while they can, but with the offense from Katsuna and Mai continuing as long as it has been, they're just having too many issues there. But now it's UCF's turn. Nats and Piwa losing, unfortunately, but very close attempt there. They're going to get another shot, hopefully.
Yeah, well defended by EKC Mingo. I like that the panic strikes a lot of newer players. They panic strike forwards, right into the arms of the enemy brawler. But EKC Mingo is hitting them vertically, and that makes it a lot harder. But oh, that's so unfortunate. Great placement by Pewis. Gets around the primary by EKC Mingo, and that's a big point for UCF in a double open goal situation.
Goodness, but hey, at least Mai back on top with health has been just taking quite a bit of damage this whole game. I can see now why you want that Atlas pick for that support. EKC Mingo, great flip there to get it around. Mai is now set up to do some corner offense here, but is going to lose it early, but is already set up in between them, doing the pass, doing the punch, doing the middle shot there. Not going to work out, but Piwa is already in a poor position there, and Katsuna is already there to finish them off.
Yeah, went for a creative angle off the center. Katsuna looking for it now, but Nat's playing a bit of goalie, and the log will send it away. Another chance at taking this point for UCF, but they got to work on this barrier first, and EKC Mingo is not letting that happen. Katsuna's just stopping it all at the midfield. The pass splitter doing a lot of work. Pewis hits them the way, and Katsuna with the second strike. So much damage onto Nats and Pewis. They're completely out of commission here. But a dash flip from Nats at the perfect time. The Tofu Fortress to seal away the escape route, and what a play by UCF to turn this point around. But they still have to keep this goal safe because Katsuna is Estelle.
Yep, and that hold is going to work out. My back, but Pewis is dead. I don't even know from what. I felt like I looked away and Pewis was taken to the Shadow Realm. Imee getting a nice roll in there, but when you get those kind of rolls, if you don't have Castellast, you gotta strike those away. If you don't, that gives the forward the chance to win the strike war. And unfortunately, Imee just struck it forward there. That's not gonna work out. We're now at a 1-1 here.
Yeah, it's a bit rough, but we can just see the lethal efficiency of this My Juliet and Katsuna just controlling the entire midfield. The big opportunities for UCF, but good hit stun limits the damage to 1 barrier. A good roll by Imee all the way back to make sure these barriers still stand for UCF. But Mai's once again positioning in the corner, the solo corner offense. We've seen it so many times. It's the same combo every time, right? The Flame Flurry to hold the core after 1 barrier take. And that kind of thing needs to be counterplayed by UCF before it becomes what loses them the game.
Yeah, if anything, you got to at least start holding some Dubu ults for that. Wow, Pewis not dying to that combo, which very well could have killed there if you weren't careful. But still, you're going to have to try and avoid a battle of attrition if you can. Mai already on the flip, Katsuna nearby. Mai at least going to be wasting it on the Atlas, the Asher ult there. But that is going to give a chance for Pewis to be taken out. And also, Nats is gone. Imee, unfortunately, forgetting the barrier is right there and is going to shoot it there. And it is going to go all wrong. Mai stealing it away. Katsuna already in position. That's not a great shot there, but either way, it's a reset. Just bring it back in, all right? It's always your time.
A bit of a rough point for UCF, but they got to bounce back. They got to lock back in. And even though it was an own barrier by Imee, in the end, it didn't really affect the point too much, right? It was still a tough situation. And Mai and Katsuna had all the positioning in the world. If they could score here, all of that's erased. They're back in the driver's seat to potentially tie this game up. But they got to find opportunities here. Good flip by EKC Mingo. That reaction time to know that you struck it wrong right at Nats to cover up that slight flub. A really great play by EKC Mingo to get out of the situation, and the barrier still stands.
Great back pass between Pewis and Imee earlier to get it out, and they're keeping that offense going as much as they can, but again, Mai and Katsuna really just are great at running it down with those Estelle Julie abilities when they get the chance. Does try to play a more passive angle, but Mai sees that moving up as far as they can before throwing that dash punch. That means Imee not going to get a chance to get away with anything Dubu related in order to get that out. That roll though, with good stoppage, they're going to grab it away. Mai though, again in position, Imee striking around, but you just got to be careful. How many times can you get away with this before it all goes horribly wrong?
Yeah, tough defense in the open net, and there's the flip. The Tofu Fortress covered a lot of space, but not quite enough when Katsuna's that accurate with the snipe. Another set on the board for NJIT, and even though this roster looks a lot different, their dominance is looking quite the same.
No, hey, I got to give them props on that. This comp working out very well, and again, like I was alluding to earlier, EKC Mingo showing us what's up with some great defenses. UCF getting in some really good ones of their own, but again, I just feel that Estelle Julie offense is just getting a lot of chances to really get started, really come up, and when they have that many shots, it's going to be difficult to be godlike defense all the time, you know?
Yeah, and a very stable draft here for NJIT, right? They're not getting anything too crazy, but stability is so important. The additional speed on Mai, the additional speed and stagger on Katsuna is just making it so that it's easier for them to just close out the game, keep the status quo the same, and because they're in a good spot.
That's 18 taking a bit of damage there, but is going to stay alive. Doing a lot of corner offense, but going to lead to mostly a bit of back and forth here. Did almost lose the barrier there. If more of those Rose Thorns had gone through, that might have been an unfortunate situation. Nats 18, though, going to have to dodge here, is now really on the deep end when it comes to keeping their health up, but is now going to take a more defensive spot here. Granted, that's exactly what Mai and Katsuna want. That just gives them more of an opportunity to move up. And with the resources in play, I'm worried that Nats is not going to be doing so well, especially when that particle accelerator sends it all the way through the barrier, and the flip from Katsuna already in position to just send it through.
It's just so calm for NJIT, right? They're making the side of UCF have to face the chaos. They're scrambling. They're low on stagger, about to be KO'd. And that means NJT can just continue to run their offense. But here's Nats with the Strike War wins. This UCF team, they need to find a way to take these barriers and put the pressure on EKC Mingo, because right now the possession is all NJIT. This might be their chance.
I think the biggest thing is they need to start rotating a bit more here. They're playing too much into the double offense here from Katsuna and Mai, and they need to be willing to find chances to just lay back and then rotate it away from those lanes. That's going to give them a chance to avoid a lot of the offensive pressure that's coming out here. Unfortunate, a Giga Blast, though, going to negate that flip going down, and that means we're going to have to use more flips to get it through. Although EKC Mingo holding onto a flip means that the play is back on NJIT's advantage.
Yeah, really good flip by EKC Mingo to keep the pressure up for NJIT, and so much wasted energy by UCF. And now a KO as well. Mai getting the takedown. Nats helping defend for the moment. And Aimi, good clears to slow down this play. Nats finds a strike, finds a barrier, and suddenly this is looking achievable here. A good roll, but can't quite get the strike afterwards. Well played by Katsuna to make sure the respawn isn't a factor and to bring us to match point.
That was very close. NJT, though, leading it right now. UCF's last chance for this game to bring it away. For their sake, let's see something incredible. But you are having to deal with Katsuna still holding flip. No one on UCF really got flipped. Nats is probably the closest, but still on the flip economy. Is going to get a barrier. Again, Katsuna, though, with those teleports already moving up. Nats, though, really good Strike War win. Going to be grabbing the barriers. And UCF now looking at having both of their barriers while NJIT has none. Very good advantage they want to take care of while they can.
And Mai almost goes down. Nats almost has flip. Just 1 or 2 strikes away. There's the goalie gone and the flip available here. Gonna use it and gets past the flip of Katsuna. A huge positive energy trade for UCF, and that might be what brings them back into the game. They need to find value off of these next flips while they have that advantage.
And the only worry here, Mai very close to flip. If they can draw that out as far as possible, then I mean, Pewis and Aimi being close. Really funny bounce there, but hey, it is going to work out. UCF going to grab a barrier there. Almost grabbing another. Mai, however, finding the utility of that flip thanks to that kill there. Aimi at least holding on to flip now, but you're going to have to deal with this power play first for a couple more seconds.
Mai, no energy, but still has the cooldowns. Doesn't quite line up the dash punch. Good clears by Aimi, who could have gotten the kill onto Mai, but doesn't choose to commit for it, and that might prove to be the right idea if they can find this offense right now. Nats in with the breakthrough, finds the strike, finds the hit stun, and we're at a tied set here. 1 more point for UCF to stay alive in this first game.
Best thing UCF can do here, they're going to have to try to find a way to draw EKC Mingo's flip while also taking advantage of Nat's upcoming flip. And hopefully sooner than later they can do that. Then UCF's still in the game here, but that's of course assuming that nothing crazy happens here. Choosing to dribble here is going to find a way through. Still pushing it through. I do wish Aimi would rotate a bit more here. They can, but so far only losing a barrier to that play, so nothing too bad yet.
Oh no! Mai sneaks it away, has the flip now, and this could be the end of the game. The flip available, a crazy bounce. Mai overcooks it, but Katsuna keeps the pressure up, has the flip available, and is just calmly dribbling it. A contrast in play styles between NJIT members. Flip available, and what an angle by Katsuna. Just pixel perfect timing to the top side, the demon angle, the piercing shot, and NJIT close it out 3-0.
I mean, Mai might have overcooked it, but Katsuna coming in with the whole recipe right there. That angle was beautifully lined up with the ability, with the corner, with everything. And, I mean, hey, those flips are great to see. NJIT bringing it back, not even giving UCF a chance to take one game there. That is going to be a very big boon for them.
Yeah, just a very, very good game. It really could have gotten out of control because UCF, they were performing near the end of that game. And all throughout, honestly, you mentioned their one downfall was just kind of just sticking to their lane a little too much, right? That they need to rotate around the Juliet, around the Atlas as well. But EKC Mingo got to do what Atlas excels at. Put down that Cosmic Expanse, throw out those astral projections, and just to make sure those lanes were locked down completely.
Yeah, and it's also too, they have to like, I think they got to re-rotate too, because the thing is, even in the few times they did rotate, Katsuna was already teleporting over with Estelle, so they lost a lot of those like later rotates, and then by that point, that was like the only one they did. If they had actually used that option a bit more actively, they could have baited out Katsuna, they could have found the clear lane to move it up, and then they would have had much better setups into their plays. Even despite that, they had really good ones when they could force it through. But when you're relying on that, you're just going to end up losing a lot of your abilities, you're going to lose a lot of your cooldowns, and that means that once you do get punished for it, you're going to get punished hard.
All right. Well, next map is another one of the usual suspects. It is Atlas's Lab, one of the most popular, no, the most popular map, honestly. This is the default map of Omega Strikers, basically, and for good reason, right? It's a pretty well-rounded map.
It's honestly, it's funny. I used to really like this map, and then in recent times, I still enjoy it as like a default map, but I've got my misgivings about it. It can be pretty chaotic when you don't want it to be. It's also very easy to lose both barriers if you're like just out of position and it ends up throwing behind your one barrier, running to your other, and that can be pretty annoying. I mean, you still have the open net to play with. There's nothing too wrong with that, but this map can, for a default map, it's one of the more chaotic picks in my opinion.
Yep, we're gonna head in right into the draft, and it's gonna be a pretty interesting start. It's Super Surge Unstoppable, and Unstoppable in particular has me a little bit concerned about how this game's gonna go.
NJIT really relied on a lot of that impact offense to get things through. Unstop's going to make that a little bit less viable, assuming UCF plays carefully with it. Although with Super Surge on the board, that's going to really be a benefit to any characters that love moving around with their secondaries, Aimee, Estelle, Zen, etc. So I think we're going to be seeing more of those characters coming up here if these teams want to be more offense oriented, despite the Unstop being on the board.
Oh, we might see a lot of core control coming out. On the other hand, Zen is banned as well. And Kai first pick. Not a surprise for UCF, right? They have very high Kai priority, this roster. But it's going to be interesting.
You know, if we're lucky, we might even see the Aimee pick Aimee this map.
But as the draft progresses, it is progressing quite slowly, so it's a little bit awkward to talk about. But so far, it is looking quite the same with the exclusion of the Juliet, right? It is the Estelle. Probably just going to be in the same slot. Just going to be Katsuna Estelle once again.
No reason not to change it. It was a strong pick last time. I assume it'll be a strong pick this time just as well. Mako, it coming through, I assume that's going to be a goalie pick. I'm not the biggest fan of Mako forward, and I don't usually see other players run it, so I'm assuming that's EKC Mingo run it up with Mako.
Yeah, Mako is a little bit different, especially on Atlas Lab, right? Sometimes the core could slip right through the secondary, and it could be a little awkward, like you mentioned. But I trust that EKC Mingo is going to get it done, or we might see something crazy. It might be a Mako forward. I say might. It might. I'm using might very, very generously here.
Honestly, for NJIT's sake, I'm hoping it's not Mako forward. But hey, Aimee coming through on UCF. Maybe I'm right. The Aimee named player gonna be actually using Aimee. So let's see the namesake come through with that set bonus. And Kazan coming through as a forward. I mean, you might be right. The core control is going to be coming through this game.
Yep. It's the Kazan coming out along with the Aimee. And it's a lot riskier for UCF, I think, right? They are betting it on their ability to score once again. It is an unstoppable start, which should benefit that kind of playstyle. But the issue here now is the goalie, right? It's going to be Aimee goalie, and although I'm not doubting the player named Aimee on Aimee, it is a little bit trickier to defend compared to the Dubu.
You're not wrong, but hey, that offense, if they can make it work, it'll at least make up for the lack in defense. That's sort of at least supposed to be the benefit of eject button goalies, which is, I assume, what they'll be running. But they are going to have that defense still going to be important, considering NJIT looks like they're running Rastel here, the classic offensive comp, timeless. It's powerful, and we'll probably see it do something powerful in this game. Hi.
Yeah, it's... Yo, wait a second. We're in the break room.
We forgot.
Goodbye, Flowers.
Wait, no.
Okay, so no one heard that. No one heard what just happened.
Yeah, secret visit from Flowers there. But just in time to mark this game now starting up, and let's see. I mean, I don't imagine our predictions on what they're playing are different than what we said. That all would make sense, but hey, please surprise me, you know.
Yeah, it might be quite interesting. But Aimee on Aimee is gonna be a treat. Just one character off of looking suspiciously like a name off. So.
I was about to call them out on that.
Yeah. I'm most interested in NJIT. As always, when there's a newer player involved, that player is often the focus, right? It happened last season with Strages, who overperformed quite a bit, actually. And now we're here with EKC Mingo.
EKC Mingo the GOAT, showing what's up. And they're running Strike Shot. I like EKC Mingo already.
Oh, you're one of those Strike Shot fans.
Well, either way, Mai and Katsuna already getting an early barrier, especially thanks to EKC Mingo's speed there. Piwas, though, moving up, and with the offense from all three of them combined, that's going to already mean a barrier down on both sides. That's the start there, but now you're going to want to figure out what happens next. Nat's up there alone, but is getting hit away. EKC Mingo with that GOAT primary there. I like that a lot, but already set up. Aimee, the offense is working out, but not sure why they were down there to begin with that eject button. That means the offense is done. Both teams have barriers open.
Yeah, that's one of the slight downsides of the long dash range. Like, it's not a real downside, as Mai finds a strike timing and Aimee does not have a strike left after that play. It's just an early goal. That's just what happens. But the long dash range kind of makes you want to blink from bad positions a lot more often, right? Aimee blink from basically the center of both the barriers. And that's like a really awkward spot when you're ejecting back. It's like in the middle of nowhere. So even though it's a huge tool in terms of the damage and just overall reach for scoring pressure, it can leave you out of position quite a bit. And Katsuna capitalizing on the lack of Dubu in this game. There is another goal for NJIT.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, I think the best thing that could have happened, Piwas maybe should have tried to throw it into empty space or throw it into the expanse earlier on rather than just ping-ponging in the corner. But, I mean, even if you do that, you're going to have to deal with Katsuna Estelle. But honestly, better deal with it early while you have barriers anyway, so you can use up Estelle cooldowns and before you lose everything there, which is what happened instead.
And with the flip available now, but the cyber swipe just goes a little bit too far. Nats, though, with a huge kill on EKC Mingo, the top spin was enough. And now Mai and Katsuna forced to defend. It's going to slow down their offense quite a bit as Nats tries to regain control, unable to do so. But the possession still maintained with the back pass. The pass up, Piwas to Aimee to Nats. And will find the maddening descent for the barrier. Takes so much damage on Mai as well, but Nats is also low. And Aimee out of position after the eject. Once again, it's so rough to see, but there's another KO to maintain the 2v2. And now Katsuna in position. The flip out, the strike war. Aimee gets it out of there, but the cyber swipe once again a little bit too far. The barrage good, but EKC Mingo, are you sure this is a new player? The fundamentals are kind of good.
I love that name. EKC Mingo is such a powerful name. But either way, Nats and P was unfortunately going to lose the offense. Aimee panic striking there means they are on the cooldown, and Mai already in position with the strike, going to get it right past NJIT, working it in with the 3-0 start here. Definitely a powerful momentum starter, if anything.
EKC Mingo was cool as a cucumber against the Kai Barrage in the pressure situation in the open net. It might be a bit of a goalie gap this series here as this draft plays out. Missile propulsion once again taken by Katsuna, and that's going to be something IME has to worry about a lot more, right? Can't hold the core with the log here, so you have to really be aware of those Crystal Thorns. And it's a bit of an awkward draft altogether.
Yeah, pretty offense-oriented. I mean, at the very least, Pewis walking away with Hotshot is also really nice for UCF, especially with Giga Blast, but you're still going to have to be putting up with a bit of damage coming in this round. Still, though, barrier down. That's that awkward angle I was talking about earlier. Unfortunately, even with everything there, it didn't... unfortunate strike there, but still, IME keeping the advantage. That glitch pop, though, not going to quite work out as it goes backwards, and now Pewis and IME going to have to force it around Rastel. Almost do, but not quite. Nats and he was unfortunately stacking a little too much there. That offense ain't going to work out. They got one more chance to make it through.
Oh, EKC Mingo finds the angle between the forwards. These fundamentals are just too good. Is this a new player? Is this Soren from Japan playing on 200 ping?
Okay, well, Nats is down. Katsuna and Mai taking quite a bit of damage, but they're going to have time to recover because the core is too far back for Pewis and Ivy to really do damage. Pewis now really going to have to probably use that flip soon, because otherwise you're just having to deal with Rastel, which can both hate you and keep the offense up. But as I say that flip's going to work out. Imi's in position. Getting into open space is what you want, and, well, named off player over here is going to just throw that right in. EKC Mingo, unfortunately, out of position, considering it's Mako.
Yeah, it's tough to open net. Not much you can do, and good on IME to capitalize off of that. So much damage onto Mai, who has to waste a flip just to try and stay alive, and now the tides are turning a bit, right? A lot of damage got picked up, importantly, by UCF, and they could really play a KO game here.
That's kind of what I want them to do, because it could work out really well for them here, considering how much damage they've been doing so far. It would also help Nats feel a lot less pressure. So I'm hoping for their sake they can start converting to that more, but they've been a little apprehensive about it, to say the least.
Nats low. EKC Mingo fighting back here, and the Estelle there to follow up. Mai looking to try and secure the KO, but the goalie is dangerously low as well. And the hook goes wide, and that's going to be a nuisance still. One more hit, and EKC Mingo is going to be staggered. Dangerous spot to be, and there's the hook. There's the goalie gone. There's the barrier down. And Nats still standing. Despite every single knockback in the book, Nats survives, and Pewis finds the goal.
UCF bringing it back, and hey, for their sake, I might have said it earlier, but I'm happy that we're seeing something great here. Let's see a game from them, and let's see this even get more exciting. IME and Nats, though, making their way up, not going to find it. Mai has the speed, especially, I assume, thanks to EKC Mingo, unless that was just Rasmus secondary moving it through. P was having to flip that primary whiffing, but it does still mean a barrier is going down. You have the ult there. That's going to cover quite a bit, but still, Flip getting wasted as soon as Flip comes out. Now Mai and Nats are having a fight to the death over here as they brawl out for any orbs that they can. And in all of that, Nats going to unfortunately be out of the game there as Katsuna is there to finish them off.
Yep, and Mai and Katsuna once again at it with the passing plays. Unsuccessful this time, and the respawn comes in. Mai's got to be a little bit careful, though. A target of damage perhaps, and taking a little bit of it here. EKC Mingo staying reliable, has the flip available just in case, as Katsuna just dribbling in their own goal box here. Looking a little dangerous, but still getting the defense down, stalling out so much time, and now it's overtime. The potential for a crazy hotshot play, perhaps, as Mai hooks it, but doesn't quite get the strike afterwards. It barely missed. But now Katsuna with an opportunity. There's Aimi with the firewall sentry. It is enough, and Nats Madden descent, but the goal gate's opening. Block it for the moment. And so much meter being built up. Katsuna just predicts Aimi like a book. That's the years of experience kicking in.
I mean, dang, but also I'm not I'm not too sure why we struck it diagonally there. That would have just gone to Mai, even if the Estelle primary hadn't hit. You want to try and hit that vertically down the Pewis. But either way, hey, great on NJIT for keeping the momentum up. Nats now with the flip means that Mai is going to be in a spot of danger. Again, we've seen Mai be low before, but we got to finish the kill, all right? You got to finish your vegetables before you can enjoy dessert, and we haven't been doing that so far. UCF, though, is going to grab the flip there, not taking a barrier. That angle wasn't ready for the alterations that would be made by the Atlas Expanse. And now barrier is not gone yet. Katsuna is already there to cover. Now you're having to deal with Erasmus in your face, but Aimi is finding a way out. Pewis almost on flip as well. Means that I want to see a big offensive play here from UCF to make these flips work for them. Especially when dealing with Katsuna's flip, that is going to probably come out in a moment here since the barriers are all gone.
Oh, they gotta stay calm and collected on the defense though. That's a KO already found and a power play created. Katsuna low as well as the core drifts back. Aimi definitely has a blink available, a cyber swipe to try and close it out. There's a flip from EKC Mingo. It's a little bit too direct there, and a panic flip by Katsuna. They do find the KO. Power play created, an EKC Mingo and a crazy Crystal Thorn. The Crystal Thorn was just dancing on Nats' dead body, unfortunately. Going nowhere. Sorry, the Rose Warp, and Aimi across the map finds the second beautiful cyber swipe goal of this game so far to tie it up.
I thought I was just hallucinating when there was just like a needle in the goal flashing up and down. But either way, good on UCF for keeping the momentum in their pocket. It's not so one-sided this game. UCF now, really good advantage. Aimi could grab something very powerful here. Aerials for even more dash range, more coverage. Means that Aimi can be more of a presence if you know how to use that dash ability, which we have seen some great dashes so far, but hey, trust me, I've seen Aimi with a lot of dash range. I've played Aimi with a lot of dash range. It can be difficult sometimes to really know where you want to go.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be pretty interesting here. Looking at the draft as a whole, though, I'm really liking that Orb Dancer pickup from Katsuna. Additional speed on the Estelle, the otherwise immobile character, is going to be huge, but the damage focus might be going down. It's focused right now on EKC Mingo, who has to stay calm and collected. And the important thing for Pewis and Nats, they got to be prepared for the pass. There's a lot of angles that are just not available when the Rasmus and Estelle have a lot of map presence, so they got to find a way to work around it.
I'm almost dying there to that Estelle impact. Got to be careful. But still, going to be finding out these passes to my Pewis having to go back for a bit, but the damage is still oncoming. Now you're going to have to deal with these strikes. I think Aimi could have saved that, but unfortunately just the strike timing wasn't there. Nats, however, trying to dribble it up, but EKC Mingo with those Mako primaries going to take Kazan out of the play for a bit there. Now Nats and Pewis both taking quite a lot of the damage, and especially considering that NJIT has these flips to work with. Again, we're playing really much into the corner, and that's not going to work out when you have your teammate dying on the side there and a flip down. Aimi unfortunately not getting it away. Katsuna going to grab that first goal for NJIT.
And that was such a fast-paced end to the point, and that flip being gone from Aimi. Look at the energy difference. It's 2 flips to half a flip. That's the entirety of the energy on the side of UCF. They need to find a way to close this gap here, as EKC Mingo, unruffled, is continuing to not panic flip, and that's huge when Nats has just been kill flipped by Mai. That's 2 barriers down. Katsuna sneaks it through, and now the passing plays begin once more.
Yeah, expands down. That almost got it in on by itself, but the demon angles, Katsuna has been known to use those from the previous match, and they are continuing here. Unfortunately, Pewis and Aimi playing a little too far off the corner means they're not in position to catch those, and that is going to go through. NJIT starting the momentum back up in their favor as an answer to what UCF brought in that last game.
Yeah, they can't let the pressure get to them. The Pewis Aimi defense in that previous point, their main downfall was that they didn't really trust each other, right? Pewis went in for the strike, Aimi went in for the strike at the same time, and when that happens, you layer your strikes, and here too, the defense panicking a little bit. They do find a barrier on the other side, and EKC Mingo, a bit early on the flip. There's the Ego Blast, but it's a sad boys angle as Pewis goes down. The president has gone down. Mai and Katsuna, they're low, but Nats is alone in the enemy goal box, and there's the Crystal Thorns to secure the set. The previous set was hard fought, a big win for UCF, but the tempo is completely turned around here.
And it's like, who's controlling the jukebox here? The tempo's moving all over the place. But either way, that's going to be a very big boon. NJIT going to want to be grabbing some more, honestly, damage this round. It feels like they really leaned into it. And even if P-Wiz gets prime time here, considering that Mai gets to continue stacking with Peak, that's going to make him harder to damage. Katsuna with extra spec means that's not much more damage, but it is more core control there, which is really good for Estelle to back up the power of Rasmus there staying alive. I think NJIT got some pretty good benefits out of this draft.
Yeah, and they're going to continue to scale out of control, especially if they get a few ticks of that Stinger as well, right? And so much trouble here. Good elusive by Mai to make sure the spec training Maddening Descent doesn't do too much, and the defense continuing. Mai looking downright tanky at this point in the game.
At the very least, though, UCF going to be taking the barriers early, and P-Wiz just moving it through on their own. I mean, what the heck was that barrage? It worked out way too well for what I thought was going to get struck around, but P-Wiz just used it to move forward all the same.
Yeah, they're making some tactical tweaks here. They're letting P-Wiz play a lot more offense, and the hotshot Giga Blast around the world. The defense holds strong for NJIT, but 2 barriers down isn't what I would call strong after I called it strong. My bad. But there's Katsuna. As long as the goal is not scored, it's not over. Oh, Nats! Oh, no! Hits it right at the top of the net instead of into the goal, and a slight misaim costs them the entire point.
I think Nats might be falling into the Kazan trap of being far too readily willing to use Kazan close primary when it's not necessary. And it really wasn't there, unfortunately. You want to move it away from Katsuna, who can defend with the flip, and that just worked out oh so badly when it came through.
Bit of a rough outcome there, but they still have resources, right? Nats still has the capability to put on the offense, but the damage stacks up, puts them on a timer. And now Nats' staggered Aimi is next on the chopping block. But, oh, the core slowly drifting around. A record number of Sad Boys angles in this best of 3. That's ridiculous. How many so far in the series?
Well, at the very least, just off this game, that's 3 already. I mean, at least, unless there was any on the side of UCF, which I didn't notice.
There's definitely been more than 3. It's a ridiculous amount here, but that's not one as the barrier taken in the favor of NJIT. Katsuna pushing forward, but good patience by Aimi in the corner to firewall sentry to help defend, but the damage still stacks up. A good barrier take, but the KO soon to follow. A dangerous barrier take by Mai. Doesn't maintain possession, but still manages to keep it safe, and now Nats trying to find an opening. The glitch pop good, but EKC Mingo has the secondary. The Crystal Thorns deflected away. And oh, almost the angle from Mai, not quite. They're trying again and again, but now P-Wiz is on the board. A big chance for Aimi as well, but the secondary is on cooldown. And now Nats is incredibly low, a flip available, a dangerous spot to be, and Aimi with a good clear, and still the goal is defended.
Yeah, Katsuna try to go for that one play again like they did at the end of last game, but Aimi was ready for it this time, and it also just wasn't as accurate of a demon angle. Now UCF, Aimi's choosing to go all the way, not even relying on eject button for this flip, but it isn't going to work out thanks to that defense from EKC Mango. Nats trying to move it through. Whoa, what was that Mako primary? That was awesome.
Yeah, EKC Mingo, calm and collected, unruffled even, and what a strike, what a confident corner strike to get ahead of the play. That was just really fundamentally good. And now Nats trying to find something, but Mingo has flip, and this could be huge here. So many resources for NJIT now, as he looked for the dribbling play, the firewall sentry burned, and now Mingo flips it over to Mai, looking for the dribble, can't quite get the shot. Katsuna and Mai need to get it done here. After the defense of Mingo, and Mai will win a strike war to close out the point.
It's tough. That strike war there was so much pressure in all of those interactions, and then having to also layer there was just unfortunately too tough there. UCF going to lose the point after all the work they put in, but they're putting in even more work now. Barrier's already down, 6-second goal. I mean, UCF gets it done. Just do that again.
Yep. Well, what happens? Yeah. Mingo went from unyielding to yielding a little bit too quickly, but you know, Atlas Lab, when the bounces are bad, sometimes that happens. And oh my, that might just be the end of the game. Mai has flipped. This could be it. A hook back overcooks it. But it's okay because they still have possession. They still have 2 barriers down. And now the core goes around the world. Katsuna prepared to intercept at any moment. Mai with the secondary. And that's the series win for NJIT.
That might have been the worst time for the core to sad boys for the case of UCF. It actually probably would have been better if it just hit the 1 barrier, went out, but then because it went all the way through, they lost both barriers, and then the offense just didn't stop from there. I mean, UCF almost bringing it back, which I love to see, but NJIT in the end closing it down with meeting the 6-second goal with a double barrier of their own. I mean, wow.
Yeah, some statement points from UCF Rods here, right? Especially with that second to last point, showing that they have the capability to run over on the offense. But I'm just so amazed at the defensive consistency of EKC Mingo. Like, for a player this new, you would expect stuff like the second to last point to happen all the time. But it was just a one-off. Other than that, like, just completely locked it down. And honestly, kind of saved Katsuna and Mai in the third to last point. So, just an incredible rookie performance here.
What would you call them? Unruffled?
Well, I might have been looking at a certain skill list from a certain game to try and sneak in a few words there.
Oh, heard. EKC Mingo showing why they're the unruffled goalie of CCL. A very great performance. I mean, hey, if that's really a rookie, I'm glad to see it, all right? But dang, for only starting in, what, around September, looks like? That was really good on both the Mako and the Atlas earlier. I loved seeing the abilities there. I loved seeing the strikes. And also just like, potential is one thing, but consistency is another. NJIT just had so much consistency in so many of those plays, and when it comes down to a war of attrition, they were winning those interactions in the end. I think UCF, again, with the rotates and other things I've mentioned, they need to try and break up that war of attrition where they could, but they just weren't finding those opportunities to do so, and unfortunately, NJIT was just gaining the advantage in a lot of those interactions.
Yeah, and with that, well, congratulations to NJIT for winning. Congratulations to you, Tulsa, for winning earlier. And that's going to be it for your collegiate matches. So, yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching, everyone.
Come back next time, y'all.